told me I'm your anchor, I told you you're my pole. Through the wind and fire we try to hold on. We built this ship together, searching for a home. Despite the storm that hit us, we're still on board. Dancing in the moonlight, the world just stopped and stares. We got no destination, I'll take you anywhere. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed, words just come together, story that we never told. So far you're saying for my own, you said just keep holding on. If you're...
Hi there. Today I'm going to present a particular style of composition in photography that involves using a wide-angle lens. I'm going to focus on a subject up close, and I'm going to have subjects in the background that are out of focus. And those background subjects are going to complete a little story there. So I'm going to use my Fujifilm camera here with a Fujinon 16mm f1.4 lens that allows a very short minimum focus distance. I'm going to focus on a subject in the foreground, and I'm going to have subjects in the background that are out of focus, and they will complete a little story together. I started doing this back in the early 80s. I remember shooting a picture in a butterfly sanctuary of a little girl. She was holding her finger out with a butterfly on her finger, and her face was out of focus, but the butterfly was in focus, and that was really cool. So that's what gave me the idea to conceptualize things to focus on, and I've been doing it ever since. I started doing this in the 80s with my 35mm camera, Fujinon, or more specifically Fujika camera, and I bought a lens from a German camera shop called Porst. And I'm pretty sure that Porst and Fujifilm went into an agreement to sell Fujifilm cameras and lenses with the Porst name on them. And so I bought a Fujifilm, I bought a Porst 28mm f2.8 lens that has macro capability. And it looks to me like a Fujinon lens that has been rebranded. I may be wrong, but I think that's what this is. And it has worked for me very well. It's not the kind of macro photography where you're getting ultra close up, like getting the beautiful pattern on a fly's eyeball. I'm just getting fairly close. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the beach here on the Atlantic coast in South Florida. We're going to put a shell in the water. We're going to put a shell in the sand on the edge of the water, and I'm going to focus on the shell, and I'm going to wait for people to walk by in the background, and they will sort of complete the story. And I've also got a starfish, and maybe after that we can go over to one of these beach restaurants and have lunch, and I'll put a beer on the table and wait for people to walk by behind the beer. So let's get started. After we get done with this family beach outing with our grandson, say hello, Charlie.
Hi!
After we get done with this little outing, we'll try some other shots where we might have full control over what's in the foreground and what's in the background. Okay? All right.
Break, oh, I always be your captain. From our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, oh, I always be your captain. I'll be your captain. I always be your captain.
Now, I want to blur out the background, so I'm going to put my camera on f1.4. I'm going to open the aperture as wide as it'll go. So what I'll do is put it in aperture priority mode, which means I select the aperture and leave it there, and the camera will decide which shutter speed it wants to use. And since it's so bright and sunny out here, I've got a variable neutral density filter here, so that it's sort of sunglasses for a camera lens, and I won't need such a fast shutter speed. So here we go with the shell.
Break, oh, I always be your captain. From our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, oh, I always be your captain. I'll be your captain. I always be your captain. I always be your captain. Told me I'm your anchor, I told you you're my pole. Through the wind and fire we tried, hold on. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed, words that come together, a story that we never told. So far you're saying for my own, you said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I always be your captain. From our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, oh, I always be your captain. Be your captain. I always be your captain. You told me I'm your anchor, I told you you're my pole. Through the wind and fire we tried, hold on. We built this ship together, searching for a home. Despite the storm that hit us, we're still on board. Dancing in the moonlight, the world just stopped and stares. We got no destination, I'll take you anywhere. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed, words just come together, a story that we never told. So far you're saying for my own, you said just keep on.
So now I thought of an idea to put a boat in front of our grandson while he sleeps, and I'm going to call it Dream Boat.
If you're about to break, oh, I always be your captain. From our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're
Fun day of shooting wide-angle close-ups with a shallow depth of field. We had fun out there with our grandson. And the X-T3 with this 16mm f1.4 performed like a champ, which comes as no surprise. It's got this focus locking clutch that we'll talk about in another video. We had a lot of fun, and fun is what it's all about. You don't always have to shoot like you're shooting fine art photography to hang in a gallery or to put in a magazine. You can just be out there shooting family photos for a family album, and that's really what it's all about. I like to have a cache of compositional styles from which I can pull at will and on the fly. This compositional style of wide-angle close-ups with a shallow depth of field is just one of those compositional styles. I've got many others. Imagine if you're a wedding photographer and you're shooting the wedding rings. You could have part of the wedding cake in the background and maybe some fairy lights, and that might be a beautiful picture. That would be a keeper. But also imagine if you had the wedding rings up close and you had the bride and groom in the background engaged in a kiss. To me, that would be more extraordinary. If you found this video to be inspirational, please click the like button. And I plan to have a video on this channel every month, so please subscribe. And next to the subscribe button is a little bell icon you can click on to get notifications. Do that so that you'll be notified when the next video comes out. And remember to shoot the ordinary in an extraordinary way.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. 5.